Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And anyone who has joined, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me wait for football to come on. But it's not the news we wanted, man. It's not the news we wanted. It's definitely not the news we wanted. Let's see how many people are in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Anyone in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. What a sad day, man. What a sad day. What a sad day. The stress Arsenal gives you, it's too much, man. Anyone in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. But what a terrible day so far. What a terrible day. Waiting to know if you guys can hear me. Waiting to know if you guys can hear me. It's only Arsenal that can stress you this much, man. I was late for this stream because I'd gone to see my therapist, because Arsenal, it will stress the hell out of you. I still can't see any comments. I hope everything is okay. Let me know if you can hear me. Hear you fine. Hi, Glenn. I can hear you. Awesome. Thank you, Scott, and thank you, okay, sweetie. So let's get started, man. Wow, what a day already. What a transfer window already. What a day already. Let's start with this piece of news of Aouar. Let me start with this piece of news of Aouar. Now, we've been told that Aouar has had a meeting with his club and decided not to join. Or at first, though, there was that speculation of him wanting to join Juventus or Barcelona first rather than Arsenal. Now, that was true, but all those teams did not come in for him or did not make bids for him. So it was only Arsenal remaining. But we did not have the money. They wanted 45 million pounds and Arsenal did not have the money. I do not know what to say, man. Arsenal does not have 45 million pounds to give to Aouar. I mean, 2 days remaining in the transfer window. I cannot see us not buying a player. There is no room of us not buying a player, man. We clearly know the problem we have. So going into the rest of the season without any new signings, we'll be putting ourselves into so much trouble yet again. So Aouar is not going to join, but the Thomas Partey one is still on. But I still really wanted both, because how many transfers have we bought? How have we made this season? We've now sold Torreira or loaned him out. We got rid of Martinez. I'll come back to that. We only bought a backup goalkeeper who hasn't played yet. We bought Gabriel, that's fine. We got Willian on a free. I have a lot to say, man. I have a lot to say. Not great news, definitely. So disappointed, definitely. Now, let me start with the opening of the transfer window. Mkhitaryan. We wanted to sell Mkhitaryan to Roma and get at least 10 million pounds to put into our rest of the transfer window, but we couldn't sell him. They did not want to pay, and we wanted to get rid of him, so we cancelled the contract. That is already mistake number one in a transfer window that we expected a lot from. That is already mistake number one. We were supposed to get at least 5 million for Mkhitaryan. At least 5 million for Mkhitaryan. I mean, if a team can come and pay 40 million for Iwobi, and teams can go for players like Rudiger from Chelsea and pay even 40 million, why are we always mugged off by all these other teams? And we cancelled his contract and we let him go for free. Mistake number one this transfer window, we let him go for free. Let me go to mistake number two. Why the hell did we get rid of such a good goalkeeper? The plan was to keep both good goalkeepers, two good goalkeepers, and move forward from there and try and compete at every front. Europa League, Carabao Cup, Premier League, with two good goalkeepers. But I'm pretty sure Martinez didn't want to go. I'm 100% sure Martinez didn't want to go, but we wanted to get rid of him because we wanted the money. Where is that money that we sold Martinez for? Where did that money go? Because the keeper we signed, he was like 2 million pounds and he has not played a game. Where did the rest of the money go? Where did the rest of the Martinez money go? That was mistake number one. Anyone just joining, mistake number one was Mkhitaryan, and then mistake number two was getting rid of Martinez. Okay, I'm not yet done, man. I'm not yet done. Mistake number three. Please let me know why Socrates is still at Arsenal. Please let me know why Socrates is still at Arsenal. Because he's not good enough and no other team is going to buy him, fine, that is okay. But he did not play a game for us after lockdown. He played like only 45 or 90 minutes after lockdown, all those games. Clearly, Arteta doesn't fancy him. So why is he still an Arsenal player? Why are we still keeping players who are not going to help us? I have some I'm going to talk about. Let me just catch up with the comments first because I'm not happy, man. I'm not happy. I'm definitely not happy. Not plan B. For now, he is because Aouar and Partey were kind of plan A and he was plan B. How much do you think we'll sell Jorginho? You're a Chelsea fan, Daniel? I mean, Jorginho right now, I'd say maybe he's worth 20 to 22 million there. But since Chelsea know Arsenal are very desperate, he will even ask for 50 million pounds. That's the trouble with us. That's the trouble. He was linked for 60 million. Who? Jorginho? 60 million and Aouar is 45 million. It doesn't make sense for us. If you actually went for that, that would definitely not. That would not make sense, man. That would not make sense. And you're not gonna spend 50 million on Aouar. 45. It's not even 50 million. It's only 45, and we don't want to spend that money on him. We know our problems. Look at Manchester City, for example. They know their problem and they solve it immediately. They've bought a defender and he's already playing. What about Arsenal? We've had trouble with our midfield for 15 years and we've never solved it. 15 years and we've never solved it. I can see Cookie's next comment. I hate Kroenke with the burning passion. We've spent 7 million out of Kroenke's pocket, and that's out of our sponsor money. He's taken most of the sponsee money and we invested 7 million of it. Now, let me bring that guy to screen. Let me know, how much do you hate this guy? Let me know how much you hate this guy. How much do you actually hate this guy? How much do you actually hate this guy? Because for me, why would you actually, I know it's for the money, but why just not sell the club? Because you're clearly not a fan of the club. I'm sure if you go to Kroenke right now and you speak to him and you ask him which team Arsenal is playing against tomorrow, he wouldn't even know. So why are you even in charge of a club that you don't really even care about, but you're just caring about the money? We see people like Abramovich the last 15 years. He is a fan of Chelsea. Before people stopped going to the pitches and stuff and his trouble, he was going to every single Chelsea game and he was celebrating those goals and trophies more than the fans. You could see his passion. You could see he liked football. But Kroenke, he doesn't show anything. He doesn't even know which position Arsenal is right now. So why is he like holding us hostage? Why? What did Arsenal do to him? Why is he holding Arsenal hostage? I do not understand that. So we couldn't keep Amy and Leno, which is why I understood selling him. Why? I'm sure Leno wanted to stay, and I'm sure Martinez wanted to stay. So why? We wanted the money. That's the thing. We wanted the money, but where is that money? I know we wanted to fund transfers, but where is that money? It has disappeared. And Emi didn't want to lose his position as number one, so he left. I'm sure he wanted to stay. He's Arsenal, so I'm sure he wanted to stay. I'm definitely sure he wanted to stay, but we kind of took that chance of selling him immediately. The rest of the money went on Gabriel. What? Gabriel, we bought Gabriel way before Emi Martinez, and I'm sure you could have afforded Gabriel without selling Martinez anyway. I'm pretty sure of that. Koki, you need to come out of his side. You need to come out of his side. Let me bring someone on. Cause just let me switch my headphones. How are you?
I'm okay, good blood. How are you, my blood?
Hello?
Hello, Glenn. Hello, Glenn.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Let me put on my headphones. How have you responded to that news for today?
The Houssem.
Yeah.
I think it was more. I think it was even more shocking than to hear that Thomas Partey is on the transfer radar of Chelsea. I think for me it was even more shocking than the Houssem deal, because literally I looked at it and I was like, this man has been our transfer priority all summer, and now he's linked with Chelsea on a last day, a club that I know can activate his release clause. And I was like, wow, interesting piece of stuff, interesting piece of stuff from Arsenal. Well done, Arsenal. This is where we belong. But for the Houssem deal, the truth is there's been a lot of information around this deal, and some of it not being true, and the other being true. So there are fans that think it is Edu's failure. There are fans that think it is Kroenke who is the problem, because we know Kroenke is the problem after all. But I think it was Lyon never reduced a penny on the money they were asking for. And Fabrice Romana said it today that Lyon never at any time said they wouldn't go for 60 million. It was either 50 million and add-ons or no deal. And Arsenal made it very clear that we are not going to pay that sum. And negotiations are closed. No Houssem literally, apart from if there is a medical, apart from if we get a miracle, but there is no Houssem. Thank you for the treat. Yeah. So negotiations have stopped. I feel terrible. I feel so terrible. This is a transfer I predicted. Everything moved in the right direction. And finally, I don't know why the hell it's not happening. But I think that's the same old Arsenal we know. The same old Arsenal that, has always failed to deliver when it comes to transfers. But for me, Glenn, I'm more disappointed in the Thomas Partey deal. I'm more disappointed in the Thomas Partey deal. If we wanted to negotiate 45 million for Houssem, that is close to what we have to pay for Thomas Partey, 45 million pounds, which is 50 million euros. And then we are trying to sell off players to get in these players. You're trying to sell. You sold Martinez, which was a mistake. You have to sell Torreira. You have to sell Socrates. You have to sell Kolasinac and Mustafi to get in a top-class midfielder. But we let Lucas Torreira go out on loan. Now, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Even until now, I'm still calculating why we left Torreira go out on loan to Atletico Madrid without even an obligation to buy. I'm like, we want money, right? Why don't we tell Atletico Madrid to give us 20 million pounds for this guy, Torreira, and then in that point, that we are losing players to get more money, because everybody knows we need to sell to bring in new signings. But now we are letting the players that could give us the money are going out, on loan. Torreira, there's so many clubs that wanted Torreira in Italy. Torino wanted him, Fiorentina wanted him. They could take him on a loan deal, but they could give us around 6-7 million or 10 million franc cash. Torino was willing to give us a big fee, as franc cash. And finally, we let him go to Atletico Madrid on loan with no obligation to buy. That means next season they can dump him back, and they're like, we're not taking him, And the question, for me, that is the most hurting part. We needed to negotiate a deal between us and Atletico Madrid, but we failed. Atletico, what's interesting is Atletico need to sell one player to announce the signature of Torreira, because they cannot announce Torreira minus selling a player, right?
Yeah.
And we know we need Partey. I don't know why we couldn't use that situation. I don't know why we couldn't capitalize on this situation. I know many people are fans of Edu on this show, and I'm a fan of Edu as well. I wouldn't want to attack him, but I think that was poor negotiation, really poor negotiation. We should have capitalized on that. They have a weakness, we have a weakness as well, but we let them exploit our weakness, and we did exploit their weakness. So I think it's a, it's a terrible transfer window, Glenn. Very terrible.
Let me tell you why it started. I was just telling the people. When the transfer window opened, of course, Arteta won the trophy, 2 trophies, and you'd expect him to get backed immediately, because we know we have a problem. We've been dropping the last 5 years consistently from 5, 6, 7, 8 now. So you'd expect them to back him immediately. The first mistake was Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan was supposed to be sold for maybe even 5 million, 10 million. But Roma actually bullied us into cancelling his contract and giving him for free. I know the trouble was also because of how much he was getting at Arsenal per week, but why not try and get at least 5 million and then get that money, add it with other money that you're going to get, and try and get someone. And then we got rid of Martinez. I'm 100% sure, as I was telling people, that Martinez wanted to stay, but as soon as we had rumors about him being number 1 and number 2 and all that, Arsenal jumped on that and sold him, because apparently we were going to get that money and spend it on transfers. So we've cancelled Mkhitaryan's contract, mistake number 1. Martinez, a person who was being loved by everyone at the club, has left us. Where's that money gone? Where has that money gone? I want to know where the money has gone. Those are the first 2 mistakes.
Yeah, I know, and it's a whole lot of crap transfer window. You remember, before even these Thomas Partey deals and Houssem Aouar, there was a player in the names of Justin Kluivert. If you guys still remember where this transfer window started, we were linked with Justin. We were linked with Justin Kluivert. Roma valued him at around 27 million, and we had to do a swap deal between us and Roma. They get Henrik Mkhitaryan and we get Justin Kluivert. We add them some money. Clearly knowing that we do not have enough money in this transfer window, we had to go for swap deals, we had to go for loan deals or free deals. Now, we let such a swap deal go begging. In the same team, AS Roma is another player we are so much interested in, Amadou Diawara, but we give them a player on a free transfer, happily cancelling his contract, but we don't think about going into that team, negotiating a swap deal between them and us for Amadou Diawara, because Diawara is around 27 million as well. If you can't get Justin Kluivert, why don't you go for Amadou Diawara? Because if you negotiated your way around, you give them Mkhitaryan, you can add them 15 million and get Diawara. All those possibilities, we didn't use them. All those chances, we didn't use them. And now we are going into a new season with the same team. And many Arsenal fans come on my channel. They shout so much that they want us to qualify for the Champions League. And I ask them the same question. What's the difference between the team you want to go for Champions League, the team you want to win the Europa League this season, and the team that finished 8th, fighting with Sheffield United and Wolves last season? They don't answer me, because I think this is the traditional football of we can do whatever we do without transfers is dying out. It's really dying out, and Arsenal has to realize this. It's time we realize this. We can't move on when we are still thinking the backward way. Like, wake up one day, get some 2-3 players from the academy. They are develop them for the next 5 years and become great. That is not where football is. Football is 10 times more developed than that. I'm not saying we shouldn't develop players. It's good that we have Saka, we have Martinelli, we have players like Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Those are very good players. They're very good additions, but they will be very good under the watch. Sitting there watching players like Houssem Aouar play. Sitting there watching big talents, so that you can actually groom them as with a winning mentality. I don't know whether we still have a winning mentality. We can win the FA Cup, we can win the Community Shield, but when it comes to the Premier League, you saw how much Liverpool trembled. They trembled so many times. Trying to win the Premier League, but they don't have. They had lost that experience. They trembled so many times until when they built a strong team, strong enough with a winning mentality, they got the Champions League and they got the Premier League. So most people will think to win a league is winning all matches. There are times where there are times when you need to win ugly. There are times when you need to win, to do anything to win. And there are times you need a winning mentality. Just going back to the Champions League is going to be very hard for us. Very hard for us. I'm not saying that, it's going to be hard because we didn't get Banter or Aouar. No, even if, we missed out on Aouar and Banter, and you bring in players who are good enough in the similar positions. You understand, Glenn?
Yeah. So something interesting to me is, go on. I'll come back to that.
Yeah. We need players that are good enough in those similar positions. For example, if you don't get Banter, and then you convince us that we can't get Banter, but we are getting you someone like Somare or Amadou Diawara, any Arsenal fans would understand that maybe it's the financial constraints, but this is how far my club is ambitious. You understand? If you didn't go, Houssem, it's okay. Go for someone else. Get in someone else that, can, level the quality. Because the clubs we are fighting with are not really sitting down and sleeping. Look at Manchester City. They are doing transfer business even until now. Chelsea wants Partey. Chelsea wants Declan Rice. But they have bought almost 5 quality players, added them to their side. So I think the competition is not between Arsenal, but it's between Arsenal and other players in the league, other teams in the league, and that's where we have to look at.
The thing is, it's looking like that right now. It's looking like it's a competition between Arsenal and Arsenal fans.
Yeah,
I want to know what did these guys tell Aubameyang? Because Aubameyang signed the contract, and I'm sure he was promised that quality will be added. Also, when Willian joined Arsenal, he said that he was promised that we are going to win the Champions League after 2 or 3 years. Where will that Champions League come if we can't buy players for 30 million, 20 million? And it's not only that. We are stuck with like 10 Deadwood players. Players like Ozil are holding the club hostage. We can't get rid of them. There's no one to buy Guendouzi. We got rid of Mkhitaryan on a free. We didn't get any money for Torreira. It's not one problem. It's like 15 problems at once. Where are we going to start solving these problems? Where?
You see, Glenn, the problems of Arsenal have been around for the past 20 years. And I think this is when, as Arsenal fans, we can know, that's the man, the problems, that is the problem. And the process starts with Stan Kroenke, and it ends affecting up everybody, including the fans. Truth is, why we are not doing business, I'm not really understanding. Because clubs like Everton is doing business. We are richer than Everton. We are financially better than Everton. And we are not doing business because of COVID. They are brought in 3 quality midfielders, James Rodriguez, better than anyone we have in the side. Didier Doucouré, better than anyone we have at Arsenal. And they are brought in Alan from Napoli, better than anyone we have at Arsenal. And you tell me that they were not affected by COVID-19. They were affected, right? They were affected. Sheffield have brought in players like Ampadu and the others. They were affected by COVID-19, right?
Yeah.
I think apart from the case of Chelsea, because for them they had, they had the transfer ban and so on. The other teams have shown us that they are ambitious. That even in the tough times, we are still a football club, but Arsenal is a financial corporation. How much did we earn and how much did we lose? That is what we care about. Like Stan Kroenke, this is a cash machine. Arsenal is a cash machine for Stan Kroenke. How much did we make? How much did we lose? What do the books look like? Are they okay? Are they green? Yes. Let us go into another season. He has not spent a penny on us in the past 10 years. He has not invested a penny in us. And, he expects us, Arsenal bloggers, to come onto, YouTube and, Twitter and Facebook and say, Arsenal is great. Arsenal is going back to the, to the great side, when we cannot actually sign in 2 players that everybody sees we need. From the West Ham game, from the West Ham, Fulham, Liverpool game, both Liverpool games, the problems of Arsenal are, visible. You don't need anything to see them. You're visible. The midfield doesn't create chances. As simple as that. The midfield doesn't, create chances. And when we lose the ball, no one is there, to recover it in the midfield. We are very porous. Like, we are like,
Let me ask you, if you have a business and the business is dropping year by year, wouldn't you try and like revive it? Because his business is dropping. We were consistently in the top 4. We went to 5, we went to 6, we went to 7, and we were even close to missing out from the Europa League, which means we are still dropping. Wouldn't you like try and save your business? Because the business is dropping. Almost not European football. If we don't get anyone this season, we might not get European football. You've seen the way Everton is playing. They were not part of the competition last season. They are now. You've seen the way Leeds are playing. We are dropping. Like, wouldn't you try and save your business? And it's interesting. Someone here says, Scott says, we've bought Saliba. Where is Saliba? 27 million pounds. I know it's not Arteta who bought him, and he might be an Emre buy, and maybe Arteta doesn't want him. But 27 million pounds, and he can't be in the team. There is another problem. Where is Saliba? Are you okay with him getting loaned out?
I'm not really okay, and I've done a video about discussing my negativity against that. Why do you and asking myself, as Mikel Arteta, if you're playing 3 centre backs, you have Rob Holding, you have Gabriel, and Kian Tierney. The weak link is Rob Holding, and everybody can see. The weak link is Rob Holding. He's not good enough. He's average, below average. Newcastle wanted him on loan. You keep him at the club. We are losing, games. We are going to lose more games because of him, and you don't want to play the best, players we have. And at times I ask myself, if I was on that Arsenal board and I was watching an Arsenal game, I've given you William Saliba, I've given you Gabriel Magalhaes. They are 2 quality centre backs. You don't play them. Where do you get the audacity to come and ask for more players? Because literally for me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why William Saliba doesn't play. At least he should be coming, from the bench. If it's for issues of experience and on, let him come from the bench. But he doesn't appear. He doesn't appear on the bench. Rob Holding is a starter, and we know he's the weak link in the defense. He was exploited by Salah, exploited by Mane, exploited by Antonio, exploited by Firmino, and everybody's going to exploit him in that defense. And you want to pair him with someone who's mistake prone, who's David Luiz, and you tell me you need more signings. They should back you with more signings. Minus using the ones you have. It doesn't make sense.
Why do I feel like Kroenke is punishing us? Because Cookie says Kroenke built the Rams a new stadium in US and they aren't selling. We built a stadium and the whole club imploded. Wonder which one he cares about. I'm sure we built the stadium before Kroenke, if I'm right?
Yeah.
So what went wrong? Why did we decide to give this guy the full ownership if he does not care about the club? So let me go through the comments. Cookie says not on his side. That's why I'm questioning it, man. That's why Netman situation. Let me see. I'm not a fan of any board member. Do you like any board member? Are you a fan of Edu, Kozi? Do you think Edu can help us, or do you think it's part of the problem?
But I think everybody's gonna be thrown into into the dirty water at Arsenal. But I think Edu doesn't have any problems, even if because his work is to negotiate deals around, and he doesn't control the cash. So I think I have no problems with Edu. But like I said, everybody's going to be thrown into the dirty water at Arsenal, so nobody's going to come out clean.
Yeah, and it's true again. Swap deals, free deals. I saw someone writing about Pablo Mari. Pablo Mari. It was first a loan deal before we signed him. Cedric was also a loan deal before we signed him. There was also someone else who came. Loan deals, free. And where are these players? Mari is injured. Cedric has been injured for 80% of his time at Arsenal. I know injury is not someone's problem, but we are clearly signing players who are not wanted in their clubs. Why? Why are we seeing Man City going for Diaz, the best defender to Benfica, and getting him? Why are we going for scraps? And again, do you think we're going to get any player before Monday?
You know, at this point in time, it's very uncertain. If we were a club like Manchester United, I would say yes, because the fans are angry. But Arsenal doesn't care about its fans. It doesn't care whether you're angry, whether, you know, they know at the end of the day, you're going to buy an Arsenal jersey and you're going to spend money on, you know, on the Arsenal jersey, and they're going to get the money. They know at the end of the day, you're going to buy a seasonal ticket, so they don't care as long as they make their money. You know, look at a club like Manchester United. They bought Van der Beek because of the Sancho pressure. And I've always told my friends on this. They bought, you know, Van der Beek because of the Sancho pressure. Now they're bringing in Edson Cavani because they are under pressure. They respect the fans, you know, but Arsenal never, you know, respects their fans. We have seen worse transfer windows that, you know, than this. And if someone tells me, are we going to sign this one and this one, I'm really going to say, I don't know. And I'm not really sure, because even if we don't sign anyone, Arsenal fans, 90% Arsenal fans are going to still say, Arsenal is a great club. We need to go back to the Champions League. We need to win the, you know, the Europa League and so on. So I'm not really sure, and I'm not really convinced that we shall sign anyone. And because maybe a Jorginho on a loan deal, which would be just transfer crap. I would rather stay with what I have than bring in, you know, Jorginho.
Well, seeing another comment for you. He says, relax. Now, before you even jump in, it's not one window. It is the last 10 windows we've been lied to. I started back in 2011. 2011, we had not bought anyone. And after Man U beat us 8-2 and Liverpool had also beaten us 2-0, that's when we panicked. Where did the money come from all of a sudden to get all those players? Andre Santos, yeah, come in. Ben Ayoun, are you available? 50 years old, come in. Arteta was signed in that summer, come in. Why do you always do that? Another summer you only signed Czech. That season, Leicester beat us to the title. If we signed someone like Aubameyang in that window, we'd have won the title. So it's not just one window. I know you asked if you want to come on, but let's see. So what do you think of that, Cozy?
You know, I'm really used to that. I find those comments so often on my channel. Like you do a transfer video, like there is one I'm about to drop about how bad our transfer window was, and then there's so many Arsenal fans that I don't know whether they are positive or they're afraid of the truth. They want to think that Arsenal is doing okay, and until we get relegated, that's when they wake up and know that we were not doing fine. If you're telling me that, you know, it's not one transfer window, let us consider the last 10 years. How have we been faring in the transfer windows? We have been selling our best talent and bringing in mediocre players. Right now, we are stuck with them as Deadwood. We cannot get 20 million. We are struggling to raise 100 million from almost 10 players at the side. And you tell me, Kosi, it's not one transfer window. I think he's still young, so he can wait for the next 100 years. I'll be vlogging, next. Let us give him an 100 years. Okay, It's not one transfer window. Let us look at last season. What did we do last summer? We brought in Pepe. We lost Koscielny and replaced him with David Luiz. Now, is that an excellent mark or a degrade? Is it a downgrade? You lose your best defender at the side, and then you bring in David Luiz, who almost cost us a whole season. 5 penalties in one season. A record. Pick up us. We have the record. We are the record makers. 5 penalties from one defender. Pick up. I think this is high time Arsenal fans learn that the truth is always bitter, but it is the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, I always say, I can see Cookie writing about Pepe. I always say, Saliba was signed by Emery. He's not in the team. Pepe was signed by Emery. He's not in the team. Torreira was signed by Emery. He is not in the team. Guendouzi was signed by Emery, not in the team. Same with Socrates, so many other people. Does it mean like maybe Arteta isn't a fan of these players? Could we see Pepe leaving next summer, 40-30 million loss?
The truth is, I'll back Arteta for some signings apart from William Saliba, because Saliba didn't play. No, he hasn't given Saliba time. He hasn't watched Saliba play. That's the truth. And even if you know he was going to give us an excuse, he has not put in anyone better than William Saliba in his team, apart from Gabriel Magalhaes. So truth is, those players are not really up to standard. The Unai Emery players. One, Matteo Guendouzi, he had some, you know, sort of, you know, season that, you know, wanted to become good, then so inconsistent. I wouldn't have problems, you know, I would drop him if I was manager as well. Socrates, I think he's not the kind of defender Arsenal needs. That's the truth. Socrates, yeah. Pepe needs to work on his output. The talent is okay, you know, everything is okay, but the output, you know, look at Willian and what Willian does, what Willian offers at Arsenal. You go forward, you create the chances, you know, that's what you need from, you know, a player like Pepe, you know, a forward. And I think Pepe is not giving us that. You know, he's really, you know, he loves these things of, you know, doing the trickery, the jokery, and so on, which are not a problem because it's his talent. But I think he's being dropped out of that team because at the end of the day, it doesn't contribute much to the output, right? But I still think Pepe will get a fighting chance from Mikel Arteta. I think, you know, he's trying to show him that, you know, this is what I require of you. This is what I require of you. I still think he's, you know, he's going to get a fighting chance. Unai Emery signings, I'm not really going to back them. They were not so good. They were not so good. I think it's only Leno, you know, who's outstanding. Leno
and Tierney.
Leno and Tierney, exactly. Leno and Tierney. And you can see, you know, that only shows you that Mikel Arteta knows that if these players are good, I'm going to use them. If these are not good enough, I'm not going to use them. So I think, you know, for Unai Emery and a whole lot of crappy deeds, the players that are not playing under his regime, that were favored under his regime and are not playing now, they're just not good enough. Even for me, Pepe, right now, because for me, I believe in being ruthless. If you want to become a great club, you have to be ruthless. Pepe is not better than Aubameyang. Right now, he's not better than Lacazette. He's not better than Willian in what he provides on the pitch. Because Lacazette has good hold-up play. Aubameyang, all of us know what he gives us, you know. And Willian is way far superb than Pepe in terms of performance in the first appearances. We have seen both of them. So I think he deserves to be on the bench and work harder to come back to the team.
In terms of ruthless, that word ruthless, because I see so many Arsenal fans saying, you know, El Neni has played well 2 games out of 300 games. He has played well. You can keep him. No, he is not good enough. El Neni will not take you to the Champions League. There's no time for waiting. We've waited for 16 years. There's no other time for waiting. Socrates is always good enough. Mustafi played well in a semi-final. No, you do know when Mustafi is under pressure, he will make a mistake 100%. You know that. Socrates will make a mistake. I always defend Bellerin, but I know you can't depend on him at the time when you want to depend on him. People like Kolasinac, not good enough. Let me go through the comments and then we'll come to the Jorginho story. And one says, if Arsenal don't jump in and give Lyon 50 million, do you still think if we go and give them 50 million right now, they can give us, or it's over totally?
You see, you know, it's quite difficult right now. It's quite difficult right now because Lyon are saying they have shut the door. That is what's interesting. You know, they have shut the door for negotiations, and negotiations are off. And I don't blame them because we have been in talks for the past 72 hours trying to crack a deal. They extended the deadline to today, to Saturday morning. Finally, we showed that we were not interested, and we showed that we were not ready to meet the asking price. So I think Lyon are going to remain with their stand, just like you see Dortmund are playing with Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. They're going to remain with their stance because they know next season they are going to get big money. PSG will be in position to sign. Real Madrid will be in position to sign. Maybe Juventus will be off because I think they'll get Federico Chiesa. a club like a club like Chelsea or or Manchester City, all of those will be available, and they would want to sign him up. So I'm not really shaken. I think if Arsenal doesn't pay the money, we will not get the player, and Lyon know that they can at least let a player like Memphis Depay go, because his contract is going to run down and so on. So they can let Memphis Depay go, fine, and then stay with Aouar, and they get their 50-60 million next summer.
Yeah. Scott says, I think Arteta doesn't have the players to play the system. That's also another point. We clearly know that he's playing a back five because we have no players in midfield and a strong defense. So why are we not getting the right players in midfield? Look at Liverpool's midfield. We played them on Monday and Thursday. They have Thiago, they have Fabinho, they have Henderson. If they're not there, it's fine. There's Keita, there's Wijnaldum. There are so many people who can play that position. And how many midfielders do we have? Xhaka, Torreira is gone now. We have Elneny and Ceballos, who wants to play further forward, but you're forcing him to play behind. Ozil, nowhere to be seen. Guendouzi, nowhere to be seen. Are we actually going to head to the rest of the season with only Xhaka and Elneny? Because we'll be in a lot of trouble. So Arsenal, you have a problem with midfield. Who do you go and get? You can go and get Jorginho. Tell me about Jorginho, Cozy. How awful has this target made you feel? Jorginho is the guy who's going to come solve our attacking problems and defensive problems.
I would side with Chelsea fans when they say we are a Chelsea dumping side. Yeah, I would side with them when we say Arsenal has become a Chelsea dumping side from the likes of William Gallas crossing over to David Louis, all those now. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. But the truth is, who was eventually our captain, shot number 10.
I'm going to cry. That name itself makes me cry, man. This guy cried as our captain. That's enough. But we've never still never replaced him until this day. Cookie says, I actually think we are in an endless hole. We will fall like Sunderland. I really hope not, because it looks like we're not serious. Because even if, Cozy, you are owning a club right now, if you owned a club and Arsenal come for a player and you want 30 million and Arsenal are there trying to beg for 5 million, you will realize, you know what, this Arsenal club is not serious. Let me go to the next deal. So why are we, even Suarez, it started way back. It always started way back. Suarez, we would have had Suarez at Arsenal if we added 10 million pounds, but we gave them £1, whatever it was. So this is something that has been going on at Arsenal. So I also want to ask you about these people. Why is Mustafi still at Arsenal? Why is Socrates still at Arsenal? And why is Kolasinac still at Arsenal?
No, I think I'm not really going to say no one is interested, because for Kolasinac, Leverkusen are trying to finalize a deal. Romano says maybe in the next 48 hours he will be a Leverkusen player. Mustafi, I think it's Lazio that have been trying to get him. They want a deal around 10 to 11 million. Socrates, apparently wants to cancel his contract and go to Napoli on a free transfer where he can get big wages. So he's, Arsenal want 5 million. That's the only reason as to why Socrates is still at the club. If we can cancel his contract and he goes to Napoli, he gets the wages he wants as a free agent, we can get rid of him. These two, I don't know why it's really hard for us to do transfers these days. I know. It's very slow. It's very, very slow. Like, Leverkusen have been in talks with Kolasinac, and nothing seems to be happening. Lucas Torreira has been in talks with almost 3 clubs, and they are giving us almost the same amount of money, but it's taking us so long. I'm not really sure about why these boys are still at Arsenal, but I'm really, I know that Mikel Arteta has given them a way forward to go, but I don't know whether it's a negotiation or we are trying to value our players higher in the market than their actual value. Maybe that could be the problem.
Yeah, Balachandran, I hope I'm saying your name right. He says, I don't think we need Aouar. Partey will be great. Do you think we don't need Aouar? Have you been watching Arsenal, Cozy?
Arsenal fans love consolation. They love consolation. They want this when Aouar wins the Ballon d'Or in 2025. They will say we were the first. We were the first to want Aouar from Lyon. Those are the stories. Those are the same stories always tell. With Ronaldo and Messi.
Ibrahimovic, so many players.
Ibrahimovic. He did a test at Arsenal, and we were about to sign him. It's interesting.
It makes me cry. Rabba says, I really don't know what my team is doing and breaking our heart. Definitely. Balanchandran also says we're going to sign Partey and Jorginho loan. I actually think Jorginho will be a loan, not even a permanent deal. Arsenal have broken my heart again. It's not only you. Aouar played himself. He said no. Okay, I know Aouar wanted to join Juventus and Barcelona first. That's possible. But those teams didn't make a bid. So it was only Arsenal remaining. And I'm sure if Arsenal came in with a bid, we would have gotten him. HA90 says our deal is off and you are getting a fancy penalty merchant from Chelsea. I wouldn't even talk about that. Mustafi and Gabriel is... Oh, no. Balanchandran are the kind of guys now, if Kroenke is watching this and sees this comment, he'll be like, you see, Arsenal fans are happy.
He will call him up on the board.
Balanchandran, I think it's time to change your opinions. Banter club, unfortunately, that's what we are. Even if a Man U fan or Man City fan comes to us and says we are a banter club, there's nothing we can say because that is how it's looking right now. Because we have so many mediocre players, we are depending on El Neni, we're depending on Willocks. It's sad. George says we can't buy Aouar in installments. How are we gonna pay RC up front? What does he mean by RC? Any comments on that?
We can't buy Aouar in installments. How are we gonna pay release clause? Yeah, release clause.
Yeah.
It's either we accept we don't have money, or we go in and get signings. Let us stop these things of thinking for the club. We are not, as fans, we don't need to think for the club. We are not, that's not our job. Our job is to support, buy these jerseys so that the club gets money, buy seasonal tickets, watch the highlights on YouTube so that the club gets money, and defend our club in debates. That is our job. And our job is actually not to criticize Arsenal. That is the job of bandits. But we have been thrown into a mix where we know almost everything, and we are doing everything as Arsenal fans. We know the wages. We know how much a certain club must reduce so that we can actually get the player. We know, Jesus Christ, we don't need to think so much for the club. I think guys need to know this. We don't need to think so much for the club, but certainly we have been thrown into that role. I'm going to ask you one question. Right now, Bayern Munich are signing Mark Kroenke, right? CDM, a quality CDM.
Yeah.
We were the first club to be linked with Mark Kroenke. 15 million, and we didn't go for him. As soon as Mikel Arteta landed on Arsenal like this, even before the transfer started, rumors went around that he is interested in the services of Mark Kroenke. He loves him. He's a good CDM, and he would love to work with him. What happened? So what, I think, let us stop being too, logical and sympathetic with the club and accept it is a trash of a transfer window. Let us take that. Yeah.
The thing that hurts me even more is they're lying to us. Why not just tell us, what, Arsenal fans, Gabriel and Willian is it. We're not going to sign anyone. This is the plan. We're going to sign people in January. And then,
that would be awesome.
That's okay.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
We'll not be expecting anything. But now lying to us, and then we are made to look like fools with other teams. You said you're going to sign Aouar. Where is he? You've all made videos on how Aouar is going to line up at Arsenal patches, shot, made all that. It's very, very frustrating.
Our arts creativity, Thomas Partey
Yeah.
defense, how Thomas Partey will transform Arsenal, how we shall line up with Aouar and Banter. Finally,
no one is coming. We have Niles. We don't need Jorginho for penalties. Definitely, we have Niles. He's a better penalty taker than him. You're right, HJ90. I agree with you. Also, Balanchandran goes on to say, Edu is there to sign Brazilian players only. You know what? Jorginho is actually half Brazilian, half Italian. So just maybe you have also a relationship with him.
Like Gabriel Martinelli. Yeah, like Martinelli.
All those players. Gabriel has played in Brazil before. Martinelli has played in Brazil before. Willian is a Brazilian. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. Luis, Brazilian. So you can see why we are going for Jorginho, another Brazilian-Italian player. Very disappointing. Arsenal just signing Chelsea rejects at this point, unfortunately. Now we need to put some respect to Wenger, how he took us. Do you think? Do you also agree that Wenger was just made? We were blaming Wenger for no reason.
Absolutely. And for all the times I blamed Arsene Wenger, I'm truly sorry, Mr. Arsene. I'm really sorry because right now it shows that our club was standing on the brilliance of Arsene Wenger. Our club was standing on how good Arsene Wenger could take us. He always said it, that I'm the man with a vision, and all of us couldn't see, including me. I couldn't see it, but the truth is, Arsene Wenger was another big manager, irreplaceable at Arsenal. Arsenal. You don't have fans. You qualify for Champions League for 20 damn years. 20 years. You don't have backing from this, from the board. No backing from the, you need to work with scratch. Work with a lot of crap. Scrap. You're working with from scratch. Take the team to Champions League. Take them as far as quarterfinals. You get thumped 10 goals Bayern Munich, and then Arsenal fans are going to eat you alive. And I'm going to make this prediction. If Mikel Arteta doesn't realize early, Arsenal is going to kill his brand.
That's the problem. That's what I don't want to happen.
And he's becoming another PR officer at Arsenal. I just love the way he answers questions these days. Are you going to bring in more signings? And then he says, we are working hard. We are very confident. It looks like we are close to the board. We are working very hard with Edu, and things are positive at the step. Now, that kind of PR, you're becoming, you're becoming, parts of them, and the fans are not going to differentiate between the manager and the board. And very soon we shall be putting up posters, Mikel Arteta out. And that's what Korean.
And it's not his fault. 52 people in 52 people in the chat. Thank you very much. Make sure you leave a like and send in any questions. We'll answer at the end. We'll keep this going for a few more minutes. Cookie says he's one of those people who was not Wenger out because we've agreed with that. You're not that. Okay, you said you're sorry to Wenger because it looks like it wasn't his problem.
I am really sorry.
We are just passing backwards, sideways, crazy. That is the problem. And passing that backwards and sideways, we don't even have the players to do that. Players are full of mistakes. Look at Kolasinac the other day. Always passing backwards, and is always messing it up. Why? He's not good enough. Why is he still training with Arsenal? He was training today. Why is Kolasinac still training with Arsenal? I don't understand. Gabriel and Saliba all day. By the way, is Ghana said hi, Cozy.
How are you?
Put respect on Wenger's name. Sell Kolasinac and Socrates, and that will be good enough. Let me ask you, if you had to sell 3 players right now, which ones would you get rid of? Excluding Torreira.
I wouldn't leave Sid Kolasinac because I know he's good. He's good for nothing, and he might tempt the manager to bring him back. So I would get Sid Kolasinac, throw him out of the club. The other player I would think about, I think another possible deal that I think could be more possible would be that of Skodran Mustafi. I think we can get around 10 million from Lazio if we, you know, if you're humble enough. So I would let Skodran Mustafi go, and then I would let Socrates go on a free deal.
Socrates. So those are your 3 players. And then if you are pushed and told to add 2 more players, who would you add on that list?
I would love to see Matteo Guendouzi work with another manager and work, you know, somewhere else where he can develop his talent and so much more. Because you know, clearly doesn't have, you know, he's not going to get playing time at Arsenal. If you see in the EFL Cup that he's not getting chances, Willock is getting chances ahead of him. So you would let, you know, Matteo Guendouzi go and don't ruin his career. Then, of course, Ozil, I don't think Ozil is going to go, but I would let him go as well. But I don't think he's going to go. I would pick out, you know, Callum Chambers. Instead of getting free money, leave the club.
Yeah, Balanchandran, I think, is trying to say we don't need to spend that much money to improve. Chelsea have paid 200 million and they haven't improved that much. But the problem is, how many good players do we have to compete? How far can these players be improved by Arteta? Like Kolasinac, even if you give him Klopp and Guardiola and Bielsa at the same time, there's only so much you can do with him. El Neni's already been here for 7-8 years. We already know what he can do and what he can't do. Players like Socrates, too slow. Players like Bellerin, we know he's going to make one mistake every now and then. So I think I'll disagree with that. Cookie says our team isn't that bad. I hope Kroenke is not watching this, because he'll be like, you see, our team is not that bad. Cookie says our team, Aouar would have added to it. Yeah?
Those are board members. I know they are board members, right?
Cookie, you're a board member with Kroenke. Tell us the truth.
Trust the process.
It's interesting, Cookie has had Pepe in his starting lineup and not Willian. Do you agree with that, or would you have Willian in the first team?
It's Willian. It's Willian ahead of Pepe. Maybe if you told me to pick between Bukayo Saka and Willian, I would go for Bukayo Saka. But between Willian and Pepe, no, it's Willian.
Is Arsenal not signing Aouar? It doesn't look so. We have not, paying the money, not expecting signings until summer 2021. Aouar starts 2016, 2017, 3 matches. Don't know what you meant. Cozy, is this possible? Can we get Neymar? Is that possible? We cannot pay that money. Leave alone. Without selling Wenger, Tita wouldn't be here.
And Neymar, how attractive is Arsenal to attract Neymar?
Exactly, yeah. Arsenal is not an attractive club anymore. That's the problem.
It is Aubameyang, because the only attractive point we have is Aubameyang. So it is Aubameyang to get attracted to Neymar, not Neymar getting attracted to Aubameyang. So I don't see any little attractive attractiveness in Arsenal to call on Neymar to want to play with us, unless he's a childhood fan like Wilfred Zaha, maybe.
Thomas is also clearly not happy. Kolasinac should go to Germany. We have sacked our scouts and have went into more data-centric approach according to stats. Have a look at ours last season. This is the thing with Arsenal. Arsenal have made us look like stats managers, businessmen. We're supposed to be concentrating on the football. I'm sure even if you ask Liverpool about their owners, some of them don't even know who their owners are, because there's nothing about the owners. But Arsenal, if you ask an Arsenal fan, who do you want us to buy? He will tell you, okay, maybe Neymar. And then the first question he'll ask you, how much money will he need per week? How much money will he be getting a week? Because we've all now our mentality has been changed. We are now being made like businessmen because of how the Arsenal board works. Ozil is back training. He's been training for the last 1 year, I'm sure. He's been training. Doski says that man Kroenke is a disgrace to football. I mean, how can't a player have 50 million with the most expensive ticket in England? Yeah. As Kozia said, all the shirts and all that, and we can't pay 45 million.
And, Glenn, Arsenal has the most expensive merchandise, Adidas merchandise, very expensive merchandise all over the England, all over the UK. Very expensive tickets, very expensive shirts, very expensive everything. And, finally, we are broke. We are broke. And I ask myself, How are we broke? I don't get the point.
We are broke, which means we are not a top 6 club anymore, leave alone a top 4. Socrates, Willock and Nelson out on loan. Would you do that, or would you keep both of them?
Rhys Nelson should get out on loan with a club that can actually either give him, add something to him, or or a club that can sign him. I think he's one player that's going to become another Jack Wilshere. Mediocre until he leaves the club. Rhys Nelson, I would keep him. We need the squad depth. We have Europa League.
Yeah, let me ask you that question. Do you think the wage cut was a scam?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure, but if you look at Mesut Ozil's reasons right now, all of us are going to start falling on the side of Mesut Ozil. We had gone against him, but right now we are going to go for Mesut Ozil. If there is a wage cut, if we are trying to maximize the revenue, we must see that this revenue is going somewhere. We are cutting off, we are cutting off stuff. We are taking pay cuts, and we are, we are very fast running bankrupt. It's not justifiable anymore. It's not justifiable anymore.
Yeah. So the latest news. I'll get one more question, and then we end this. Anyone joining? There was a tweet saying Houssem Aouar has just come out of a meeting with Lyon. Aouar has just announced that to the staff that he remains at Lyon, despite the offers from Arsenal and the concrete interests of Juventus and PSG. The player decided to play the season with Lyon. So the last two questions for you, Kozi. Now, if you don't get Partey, and let's say you don't get Jorginho and Aouar, is there any other person we can get in that position before the window closes? Any alternative?
I don't know whether Roma are still willing to listen to us, but we should go for Amadou Diawara.
How much would it cost?
27 million. Just 27. Just 27.
Cookie says apparently we placed a bid for Rodriguez. Is that believable? I don't know. I don't trust Arsenal these days.
Glenn, this is what I've told you. Arsenal fans love these things that we pointed at him first. We
wanted him first. We wanted him first.
Before the show ended, it's here. Interesting, man. This is really interesting.
Let's put it on screen again. Rodriguez. Arsenal wanted Rodriguez. We made them. So if Everton won the title, Arsenal helped them. Antonio Bank agrees with Diawara, and he also mentions another player. Do you know anything about that other player? I can't even mention his name.
Yeah, I think he plays with Royal Blue Salzburg. Very complicated name, but he has appeared so many times with linked with Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, as well as Tottenham. But I think he's a young lad. I think he's 19 years of age or 20 now. He must be making 20. But I'll go for you would go for him. He's a good creative midfielder, very good creative midfielder. Who was playing with the likes of Takumi, and then this guy
Haaland
and so on. I think he's a good player, but the experience is not there. But right now we don't have so many. We don't have the liberty to choose, so you would go for him.
Yeah, let me read the last comment. Hillary says I'm very disappointed, and also says every time Arsenal is going to buy someone, you hear other teams want him. That is Partey. And do you think Partey could go to Chelsea?
Chelsea are tricky. They can trigger his release clause. That's the problem with Chelsea. They can trigger his release clause at any point in time. And you know how they have been doing their business. They think about Timo Werner. In the next 2 days, it's a done deal. In the next 2 days, he's doing a medical, and it's a done deal. So if there is genuine interest, because I think their first interest is in Declan Rice, but if there is genuine interest from Chelsea, they can try. It won't be a problem for them to sign him. It won't be a problem.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Say yes or no, okay? Buy Jorginho, yes or no?
No.
Loan out Saliba, yes or no?
No.
Keep Kroenke, yes or no?
Absolutely no.
No. I helped you in that one. Do you think we can still get Aouar? Yes or no?
No.
So that was Cozy. Let me give a shout out to the people in the comments. Cookies, Ganas, Antonio, Balanchandran, Rabba, Thomas, RK Sweetie, some hard names, HJ90, George, who else? Scott, Lewis, of course, Sinan, and everyone who watched. So that is the latest news. It doesn't look like Aouar is going to join Arsenal. Cozy, thanks for coming. Where can they find you?
The Arsenal podcast, of course, that's where I am. On a daily basis, 3 to 5 videos. I do so many videos about Arsenal. So they should just check the Arsenal podcast. I do so many videos about Arsenal, and I'll keep doing that. After the transfers, we'll be doing a lot of analyzing the games, the best performers, the worst performers. So they should check out the channel, and I'll be very happy to get you on to the channel, Glenn. Very soon.
Yeah, of course. In this next 2 days, I'm probably going to work again, like maybe twice or thrice. I'm crying about Arsenal. So thanks, Cozy, for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and thank you for your comments. Another sad day. Looks like Aouar is not going to come. Thanks for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.